Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Justin here. As always, guys, thanks for stopping by. Let's get into this week's horror news roundup. So guys, I want to try something new here. I want to try doing these weekly news roundups, usually on Sundays, where I catch up on all the stories that meant something to me and hopefully mean something to you in the past week or so. And then we'll talk about maybe some upcoming movie releases and things for the next week. But this is something I really want to do. I like to cover the news. I like to do a lot of individual news stories, but when I don't have a chance to do that, a weekly news roundup is just a great way to do that, to keep everybody informed. And of course, as always, the reason I do this whole channel is to have a conversation with you guys. So if you guys dig this, if you like the idea of a weekly news roundup on Sundays, let me know. Definitely comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on all of these stories. I'll be putting timestamps down below for each individual story, so if you want to jump to a certain point in the video, you feel free to do that. We have about 5 or 6 big news stories that I wanted to cover, and then we have one big movie release for next week that we're going to talk about. But let's just jump right into it. The Horror News Weekly Roundup. Let's go. The first story today is actually a bit of a sad one. Actor Fred Ward has passed away last week. Such a bummer. He's had so many iconic roles that I remember growing up watching him in movies like silly movies like Naked Gun 3 and Road Trip and Joe Dirt. But he definitely shines in the horror community for his appearance in a few of the Tremors movies. Just iconic in those movies. Such a fantastic actor. An amazing presence on screen. He could play good guys, bad guys. He was great at comedy and drama. So such a bummer to see Fred Ward has passed away. He was 79. He appeared in almost 100 films. So an amazing career. He got to live a nice long life and be in a bunch of movies that we can all enjoy forever. So RIP Fred Ward. Next up, and probably what is one of the biggest stories in horror this week, the return of Kirby. It has been confirmed this week that Hayden Panettiere will be returning as Kirby. There's also been some rumors, possibly, I'm sure these are just rumor mills, who knows if it's true, a possible appearance from Matthew Lillard in Scream 6. So but it is very exciting news to hear that Kirby will be coming back. She's going to be appearing in Scream 6. She was probably one of my favorite aspects of Scream 4. One of the best scenes in the entire movie is her just frantically listing off all of those horror movies. It gives me goosebumps every time I see that scene. So this actually gives me a lot to look forward to for Scream 6. I was pretty lukewarm on Scream 5. I still have my Scream 5 review coming up soon. But Scream 6, I'm actually looking even more forward to. All of the main players, other than David Arquette, obviously have been confirmed to return, at least in some capacity. So look forward to a bunch of cast members coming back for Scream 6. Next up, in the never-ending ongoing saga of potential Crow reboots, it has been supposedly confirmed as of now that we are officially getting a Crow reboot with Bill Skarsgård in the lead role alongside FKA Twigs. I don't know what's up with that chick's name, but FKA Twigs, I don't really know much about her. She's absolutely stunning. She's a beautiful woman. So that's about as far as I know. I've only seen her weird name and seen pictures of her, but I am a big Bill Skarsgård fan. I think he's an incredibly talented actor, and it's exciting to see him continuously take these character roles. He doesn't want to fall into being typecast in these, super mainstream romantic comedies or generic thrillers. He's really going for juicy, meaty roles that challenges his ability of an actor. So I'm excited to see him in this Crow reboot, to hopefully see a good installment since the first one. The first one, to me, is really the only substantial movie that I consider a real Crow movie. There's been a bunch of subpar sequels along the way, including that just baffling Edward Furlong, Tara Reid Crow. There's decent moments in some of the other sequels, but I am excited to see where this one goes. This time around, director Rupert Sanders of Snow White and the Huntsman will direct from a script by Zach Bayland, who also wrote King Richard. Filming is due to get underway this summer in the Czech Republic, Prague, and Germany and other various locations. No release date or anything like that. Very little information is known. I'll keep you guys posted, but I'm optimistic about this one. With the people involved, I think it has potential to be good. Let's just hope the script rules. That's the best we can hope for. Next in line, we have an update on the Rob Zombie's Munsters movie. I've reported on this movie a bunch of times. I'll link my videos down below if you need to know any background. Rob Zombie regularly shares updates on his Instagram, photos from the set, updates and things like that. But now we have a little bit of a shift in distribution. Originally, it was reported that it was going to debut on the Peacock network, which I thought was a little strange, but now there's so many fragmented streaming services that who knows where shit will end up. We have a Hellraiser movie coming to HBO and Hulu. We have all these random movies coming to random screens streaming services, but it looks like the rumor is that Rob Zombie's The Munsters has been purchased by Netflix, which seems more of a likely home. It's a bigger streamer. I think more people obviously have subscriptions to Netflix than Peacock, although I bet Peacock would have loved to have a big title like this. This is definitely one of the most intriguing releases to come in the last couple of years, just due to Rob Zombie making return to directing, writing and directing, and not only that, but writing and directing a PG film, a family film. I imagine it'll be dark and quirky, but maybe it'll harken back to those 80s movies that I grew up with that were edgy. Those edgy kids movies that weren't afraid to go a step further than most kids movies and treat kids like adults, like little adults, something that the adults can enjoy and something that the kids can like, and maybe it scares them in a fun way, like, you know, like I used to. I used to love the scary kids movies back in the day, and Rob Zombie sure has a knack for aesthetics, so I'm really looking forward to this. And next up, I wanted to cover this one because of the people involved, this cast, and the premise seems extremely interesting on this movie. Reported from Deadline, a film called They, Them, a Blumhouse horror film starring Kevin Bacon, headed to Peacock. Peacock today unveiled They, Them, a new Blumhouse pick starring Kevin Bacon, Anna Chlumsky, who I remember from My Girl, Carrie Preston, and a bunch of other people. The LGBTQIA+ slasher, formerly known as Whistler Camp, marks the directorial debut of three-time Oscar-nominated screenwriter John Logan. It's a queer empowerment story set at a gay conversion camp that follows camp director Owen Whistler, played by Kevin Bacon, who is joined by several queer and trans campers for a week of programming intended to help them find a new sense of freedom. As the camp's methods become increasingly more psychologically unsettling, the campers must work together to protect themselves. And when a mysterious killer starts claiming victims, things get even more dangerous. I wonder where the death sequences and the horror is going to come in. Something tells me that there's going to be a killer killing off all of these conversion people, the people actually leading the camp, being that it is this, you know, pro-queer, LGBTQ movie, which I think sounds like a unique premise. I think Kevin Bacon is amazing in anything he does, especially when he plays a bad guy. Two of my favorite roles that Kevin Bacon has ever done. He's played a really just terrible bad guy, and that was in The River Wild with John C. Reilly and Meryl Streep. That movie is absolutely incredible if you haven't seen that one. And a little-known movie called Trapped with Charlize Theron and Dakota Fanning about a kidnapping, and Courtney Love's in that one as well. So I'm excited for anything that Kevin Bacon does, and this seems like a pretty interesting premise. I'm not the biggest Blumhouse fan, but you can't go wrong with Kevin Bacon and Anna Chlumsky. I haven't seen her in a while. I used to love the My Girl movies growing up with Macaulay Culkin. So it sounds interesting. Let me know what you guys think of this one. I have a feeling this movie will have its fair share of haters before any information is even revealed about the damn movie. But I'm looking forward to it. It looks interesting. Next up, a little story from the YouTube world. YouTube critic and director Chris Stuckman completed the first week on his debut feature film called Shelby Oaks. He just finished his first week of shooting. I've been following this project for a long time. I've been following Chris Stuckman for a long time, and I know he's had a lot of ambitions outside of the YouTube space, outside of the movie review space, and he's finally directing a real movie. I think his Kickstarter that he used to fund this movie was the biggest crowdfunding for any horror movie ever, so he's got a lot of money to burn. He seems like he's really confident in his script. The film, written and directed by Chris Stuckman, is based on a recent internet mystery about a group of missing paranormal investigators. The channel is a real channel on YouTube. I think it was called The Paranormal Paranoids or something like that, and it was a kind of a fictional ghost hunting series, but I'm not 100% positive how the lore goes. It's an internet story, but supposedly these videos just stopped, and a lot of people started to really think that these paranormal investigators really just vanished from the earth, and maybe something actually did happen to them. So it's a pretty interesting concept. You can look into it. I'll link a couple articles down below, but I am really proud of Chris Stuckman. I've always respected him as a film critic and a creator, and I'm proud that he's able to kind of make his dreams come true and direct his own movie. So first week of shooting is completed, and I don't know when we'll see this movie, hopefully soon. I'm excited. I'm proud of the guy. So we'll see how the movie turns out. Again, it's called Shelby Oaks. It actually made over $1 million on Kickstarter, which is just incredible. He has a big fan base. He never gouged his fan base for money, ever. I always thought that was interesting. He had huge views, a huge channel, but he never did a Patreon, he never did members, he never sold merch. He just loved talking about movies, and I respect the guy, so kudos to him. We'll see how that turns out. No release date as of yet, but again, I will keep you posted. Now at the end of these news videos, I want to kind of cover movies that will be coming out the following week theatrically. If there's a big movie streaming, I'll talk about that too. Only one really to note that's going to be coming out next week, and that is Alex Garland, his recent film, Men. I am beyond excited for this film. This is the guy that brought us Ex Machina. He brought us Annihilation, which is just a criminally underrated movie with Natalie Portman, Jennifer Jason Leigh. It's awesome. Definitely check out Annihilation. It's a badass horror sci-fi thriller. Got a new movie out called Men that opens next Thursday, Friday, wherever you are. It might be opening early Thursday, but I am super, super excited for that. I'll link the trailer down below, but if you're a fan of Ex Machina, a fan of Annihilation, Alex Garland has a new film coming out, and it will be released next week. I am so, so excited. So guys, that is it. If you like this content, if you want me to keep on moving forward with these Sunday horror news roundups, I want to do these weekly to kind of catch up on the whole week's news, keep you guys informed. You guys will be able to kick back, grab a beverage, and catch up on your news on Sunday evenings. I really want that to be going on in the future. If it does well, I'll do it every week. So support the video by liking it, commenting down below, guys, and I think we're done here. Stay weird. Remember to always be yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.